cursory evaluation of Decepticon capability indicates a distinct tactical deficiency.
What's that darn fool doing?
Laser beak returns, Megatron.
I would have waited an eternity for this.
We can't hold out forever, Cup, but we can give them one humongous repair bill.
Brace for impact.
We now return to the Transformers.
Come on, showtime's over. We've got work to do.
Talking without any sound on. Scheisse. I'll say all that again. Ultra Pittus here. Big salute to everybody. Hey, Big OP8, Block Boy. I'm sure Ashbourne will be loitering around somewhere. You guys are the perennial best followers. Thank you so much for being with me on this live stream today on War Lab. I am melting. It is hotter than a quintesson curry here in the UK. There are little bugs everywhere. So if you see me scratching my face, picking at my nose, that's what it is. There are tiny little thunderbugs everywhere, little bastards. We are in a Prime League war today against Ricos Roughnecks. Bit of Starship Troopers action going on, but we're just going to run at them real quick. Let's see how fast we can get through them. So let's do it.
We all must die sometime.
So that feels like a very small base. Mitcha, Ricos Roughnecks. Big salute to you, buddy. Welcome to the pod. Welcome to the live stream. So we've got no cores that are really going to cause us too much drama there. No idea what is going to be in those outposts. So I think a little bit of gears action. And here we go. Callum is gobbing off in the Discord chat. I have no idea what. Hello, Callum, if you're out there. Speedrun time, yes, mate. I think so. So we're going to have Grimlock just for a bit of pain. We're going to have SG Jetfire. We're going to have Chromia. We are going to, let's take Blaster. So he's got my Smashdown, which might not be the most popular of combats, but it does give you a really good plus 65 DPS against outpost bots. Now, Mrs. PITTUS is just about to come back in from work, so she is likely going to start speaking any time now. Hey, Callum, how you doing, buddy? Right, so we're also going to take Beast Wars Ironhide. Hello, darling. How are you? I'm just live streaming, so don't swear. Or do. Mrs. Pitts here. This is good. And who else are we going to take just for fun? She's just called us all losers. That's rude, but probably right. My Solus Prime has just come out of the Prime Cooker, so let's put her in for a little bit of XP. Computron is my constant. Combiner, here we go. What are you saying there, Big OP8? Whoever's walking around the base during scouting are the ones in the outposts. That is good knowledge, mate. I didn't know that. I thought that was just random animation. That would answer why last time someone did that, you had to write an apology to the community. Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Somehow she'll manage making the community apologise to her, I would imagine. So, yeah, but good information there, Big OP. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to tune this up with gears to start with. Let's get the red rectangle causing some damage. He's just going to brass all of this up, throw some metal down the range, boom, done. And Callum, you need to be apologising to me, mate, for sending those pictures of you in sort of fancy Halloween dress, looking like some sort of, you know, I don't really know what, a cross between Planet of the Apes and Pamela Anderson. Pretty wild. Pretty wild. You know, I did not get a good night's sleep as a result of that image in my head. Right, we'll just chuck that at that. Yeah. Oh, now you want to be friends, eh? Yeah, now you want to be friends. Now we're chatting on the live stream. You don't want to come to my get together at Battersea, but yeah, okay, I understand. That's how it's going to be. That's how this relationship is. I see. Stop distracting me. You're going to make Gears die. Our set was penitentiary, so you had to be a crazy prisoner. Yeah, mate. After 25 years in the army, there's plenty of those. You should employ some ex-soldiers. Right, we're just going to have a bit of fun here. Let's throw Blaster's kids over. See what they do. Not quite in range of anything really yet. But let's charge Beast Wars Ironhide in just for fun. Let's throw some gubbins at this. Let's get SG Jetfire on that. Let's just speed everybody up with a bit of a health boost. Beast Wars Ironhide is probably going to buy it, but that's okay. Let's chuck the Cassetticons out. As soon as Pr1me is good to go, we are going to loose out that ability. Where is Grimlock at the moment? Nobody really knows. Let's just use SG Jetfire to kill off that that shield gen cluster, and let's brass these guys up with gears. Running low on ability points, so it's always useful to take a battle boost so that you can then just strike a little bit further in to give you a few more ability points. We've got Lio Kaiser causing all sorts of damage up there, but that's okay. I think we're going to be all right. Pr1me has been hacked for quite a while. Right, we're just going to drop that down there just to bother Lio Kaiser a little bit. Gears is dancing with Mind Wipe down here. I'm just going to drop Computron just to kill off Lio Kaiser and Mind Wipe, just so I've got enough DPS to not die. Because whilst it's been fun using Beast Wars Ironhide to rush that, he has died very quickly, as have everybody else. So, and we're just going to kill off that with the arc. Now obviously it's not going to hack Lio Kaiser, but it has hacked Deluge, it has hacked Scourge, it has hacked Transmetal Megatron. Also, one for everybody in the chat, do I need Discord Nitro in my life? Question, answer on a postcode, please. Right, let's just loose out Blaster's kids there, and they are going to mince up that. Now the other day, this little dude here, which is Fireglide, he just started doing my bidding. You know, he was like basically on my team, and I sort of hacked him, but he stayed hacked pretty much forever. So that's either a bug or he's just very, very hackable. But he's Enerax, if you're an Autobot player, who is arguably the hardest sort of John Wick level combat beyond SB Optimus. And he sort of comes to life as soon as your character dies and inherits their weapon form and shitloads of health points. And is actually really good. I've actually won battles purely with Enerax in like events before. But we are first round down against Ricos Roughnecks. Would you like to know more? Starship Troopers. Mitcha, thanks buddy. Good run there. Enjoyed that. Thanks, Warrior. I was just having a bit of a play with a squad there. We're going to go for a bit more trad here because we've got some nice groupings of things to explode with Brainstorm or Air Raid. Right, let's have a run at this. In fact, hold on. Time spent in reconnaissance, never wasted. Just got a lot of health build bots. I love the health build bots. This pit just walked past and gave me 2 fingers. It's always healthy. Right, let's clear that off. We're going to have Grimlock. We're going to have Rook. We're going to have Air Raid. We are going to have Blue Streak as his Bomb Initiator, Smoke Screen. We're going to have Taz. Or are we? We're going to take Rust Dust instead of Taz today. Because I don't use her as much as I'd want to anymore. But have we lost the cat, sweetheart? She was in the living room. Our little cat, our sole remaining cat.
Yeah, she's there.
Oh, there she is. Our sole remaining cat, my best mate gamer cat, Dexypuss. He shuffled away a few weeks ago. Very sad. Very sad. He was a crap player, but a great cat. Right, here we go. Boom.
When are we gonna start busting Decepticons?
I'll show you my outpost in a minute. Normally I have to pay a lot of money for things like that in Soho, but not today. Right, here we go. Let's make some short work of this. We're going to drop them all down here just to get this crackalack in. They're just going to mince all that up. Rust Dust is very suicidal and very fast. She has a 3 move speed, which is just ridiculously fast. So we're just going to start cronking this up a bit. We're going to brass up that Megatronus, but that's going to die nice and quickly. The actual MDS with a Liege Core is a little bit further up, but we're just going to brass it up a little bit with Rust Dust special ability just to soften that opening. Just going to snipe that shield gen. We've got an Alchemist core on the other MDS, which is an interesting use of it, but I am going to blow it up. So we've got Sentius Malus just there. He's not going to cause too much of an issue. We're going to drop Megatronus down here. We've got Transmetal Megs just there. Let's just kill off that Megatronus core. Kill off those health bots because they might be a bit of a pain in the arse. So Rusty, brilliant, but she is a scout and she will die really, really quickly. So you're going to want to sort of deal with that. Megatronus not quite in range of that Alchemist just yet, but the bots are getting quite quick. We'll just use Megatronus's ability there. Let's just fire another smokescreen ability at that MDS, because I never like walking up on MDS. Who else have we got pop in? We've got her. She's a bug. I don't know who that is. Someone help me out. It's not Black Arachnia, it's Antagony, I think. Who's Antagony in the Autobots? Help me. There's a little Fireglide again. Everyone's using him in Outposts at the moment. Decepticons. Does everybody else use Enerax out there? There's an Outpost bot. Right, boom. Done. Big salute to you, Blur. Thanks, buddy. That was a good run. But you are down and out. Oh, it's Taz. It's Taz. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's an interesting choice for an Outpost bot, because Taz, very squishy. I put Forge of Solus Prime on him to give that play again an anti-hack. But at max level general, that's a big old schwack of damage and disable for a long amount of time on that. So, Warrior, mate, you asked what I've got in my Outpost at the moment. I have got my maxed out General Grimlock. He is carrying a Liege Core and Jays, so he's a bit of a time trap. We've got maxed out Cosmos. He's carrying 5-star Peacemaker for maximum hack. Here I've got, again, maxed out Pr1me. She's got my 4-star Peacemaker. And she is carrying a Vector Core. And over here, I've got a maxed out Red Alert with my 4-star Peacemaker and his G1 Core. And here, I've got a maxed out Overload with his G1 Core and Victory Leo 5-star maxed out combat. Don't come at me and tell me that he needs Cosmic Rust Blaster and a gun and all the rest of it. He is there to just vampire time. So he's practically unkillable with a Victory Leo. His health points are like 45,000. So it just takes them forever to kill him. I might be wrong. The science may prove me wrong. Who knows? But I'm enjoying using that combo at the moment. Right, let's have a look at base number 3.
Oh, how it pains me to do this.
Right, this is going to be a Taz path, left to right. And we are then going to start sniping north. What build bots have we got? Yeah, Growl, Sidetrack. Yeah, Sidetrack's good, isn't it? Normally have him on Cup. Not that I use sack strategy, really. But Sidetrack is definitely on my 4-star Cup. So we've got a Fire build bot. We've got an FFD. We've got another Fire. Everyone's very worried about Sunstreaker and Rust Dust and Optimal. We've got an Electric there. That's the only one that's really going to cause me any problem. We've got the ever-present Quintus there with lots of resources to piss us off just there. We are going to run my number 1 war squad. That is going to be Grimlock and Taz. They do a little 1-2 step right at the start. Show you how that works in a second. This, if you are an entry-level player, if you're a mid-level player that are struggling with pathing, this is the optimum way, I believe, to make your pathing work for you. We're going to take, we're going to take Air Raid. Because Brainstorm is good, but his damage isn't as good. His range is better, but I don't think I need range on this particular run. We're going to need Wheeljack. And who am I missing? Smokescreen. Best bot in the game. No, I'm not missing him. Scheisse. Who am I missing? Grimlock, Taz, Rook, Blue Streak, Air Raid, Smoke. No, Ratchet. I'm missing Ratchet. Dof. And we are going to take Megatronus for a bit of pain absorption. We've got a Computron. Right, let's rock and roll. Let's do it. Yeah, I've never done any lagooning. Sounds like something you'd get fined for in Soho in London. But yeah, don't really understand lagooning. Somebody help me. I've got lots of Golden Lagoon cores, but I've never used them. I'm not as much of an expert at this game as CF, but I've got better jokes. Right, here we go. So if you need pathing advice, this is a solid plan. So you're going to want to hit this little quadrant of despair here. It's quite clever if you put stuff up here, because then you've got to really stretch Tazzy's ability, because the bots will path towards it. They're a bit like Ron Burgundy. If they see it, they will path. Right, here we go. I'm going to put Grimlock down there. Taz is just going to smash all of that. And then we're going to drop everybody else down here. And then the game is long-range sniping. So we're just going to kill that that Liege Core there. Not for a second that I think we're going to really advance on it. And then we're going to start sniping that Vector Core from distance. And by the time they've finished pathing along here, the Vector Core will be dead. Oh, don't go upwards, you dicks. They're going up for that spider mine. Which is going to pop all of these guys. One of whom is Mind Wipe. Which is going to be a pain. So I'm just going to drop Megatronus down. We've also got Runamuck, who popped out of there. Which means all of these buildings have now got a shield attached to them. It's a very clever use of Runamuk, but I would have probably put him a bit closer to the north than Ultrabolt 90 has got him. But it's not a bad shout what he has done. Right, that's the first MDS down and out. Now the problem we've now got is these dudes, and it's always Rook, these dudes are now trying to smash all the stuff at the bottom when really I want them focused on the top. We're doing the combination here of air raid, blue streak, smoke screen, and that usually is enough to delete anything with a little bit more persuasion from smoke screen, boom, to kill everything off. We've got Biner coming rather shortly, but not too worried. There is 2 more outposts. One of those is almost guaranteed to be Demolisher. It's probably going to be that one. And on the other side, I just don't know. We still have an electric core alive, so I'm just going to kill that. And then I'm going to drop my Computron when Lio Kaiser has finished doing his Feng Shui, or Tai Chi, or whatever it is. So he's about to try and hack everybody. No, you're not. Don't really need to drop. Hey, Vikran, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you, mate. Really don't need to do this, but I'm going to anyway. And let's just let them dance, shall we? Boosh. I love that we gave them Kung Fu. Computron just went, have that, bash, and give him the big elbow. He's like the Macho Man Randy Savage of combiners. I'm just going to drop that there for fun. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate you being here. Boom. If you're not using Tyrannotron on your bots, see, I was wrong. Demolisher and Jays. Demolisher and Jays. It was always going to be thus. Jays is very satisfying to kill using smokescreen. When smokescreen decides he wants to. Of course, Deluge is carrying Jays. It is the optimum loadout for him. Smokescreen's targeting doesn't seem to like killing Jays. Ah, there we go. Good. Ah, and in the meantime, Tazzy did it. Woo! Well done. Big salute, Ultrabelt. Well done, mate. So, for you guys out there who don't know, it's probably always going to be Overload or Demolisher close to the HQ. I would always also put probably a Tactical Bound ahead or behind of Overload and Demolisher, my Red Alert or Run Amok, because their special ability will generate a rather lengthy protection shield for all of your buildings and all of your bots. So hence why they are such a powerful outpost bot. So we are on to the Defender. Oh, I love it, I love it, I love it. Front loaded base.
Believe it or not, this is the fun part.
How many of you out there panic when you see a front loaded base? You're like, oh my god, I'm going to be under such pressure straight away. My OODA loop, or observe, orientate, decide and act is just going to be overwhelmed. My central nervous system is going to be maxed. Oh my god, there's just too much metal death and lasers and robots coming at me. That's what it's designed to make you do, everybody. That's what it's designed to make you do. So, the front-loaded base killer, and there are other things you can do, other combinations, but it's Gears. Gears or Quake. Vikram, what you're saying there, mate? You use Nose Cone, Cheetor, Blue Streak Blades, Laser Optimus, Drift, and Leo Prime. Waiting for 5-star pipes, air raid and smokescreen, and batch 10 or 13. Okay, buddy. Nose Cone's a great tank. I don't use Cheetor at all. I did when I first started playing, because he was one of the first 5 stars I'd got. And I'm not a Beast Wars era kid. I'm an 80s kid. So I had no idea about the Beast Wars characters or whatsoever. But I always quite enjoyed using Cheetor. But he's kind of fell away from from the meta. Did everybody know, by the way, that meta stands for most effective tactics available? I discovered that just today. Having been in the military my entire life, I feel like I should have known that acronym before now. But there we are. So, Vikran. Cheetor Blue Streak, excellent long-range gunner. Really good, what I call an initiator. So like SG Jetfire, like Roadbuster, any of the one-shot bots like Warpath. If you're dropping ordnance that needs an initiator to explode it, Blue Streak is your man. He's very squishy if he's allowed to get into the melee. I currently run him with a 4-star Tyrannotron, and I run a 5-star Tyrannotron on my smoke screen. CF, big salute to you, sir. How you doing, mate? Out in the US of A. Nice to see you, buddy. Hope you're alright. We are boiling here in England. It is like Florida. They are building Universal Studios in Bedford, which is a few miles up the road from where I live. But let's hope it stays like this temperature and we get Universal Studios Florida in England. Wouldn't that be lovely? Right. What I'm just saying here, CF, is front-loaded base, Quake gears are really good choices. And I would love some of your insight for Vikran and for Big OP8 in the chat in regard to their synergies within their war teams. Because you are the oracle, big fella, on synergy in the game. I know you don't play the meta, but I know you're aware of it. And I know you've got an encyclopedic knowledge of all of the abilities of these bots. So CF is your man for that. For you, Vikran, Laser Optimus has kind of fell away slightly. I've recently advised one of our players in Pr1me Nemesis to think about switching him out. And he's just brought in a team that looks a little bit like yours, but he's got, instead of blades, he's using Brainstorm now. So that was quite a decent level of character for him to bring in, and he's brought in Blue Streak to pair up with that. Who else you got? Drift. Drift is a one-man war team, good in the melee, quite squishy though, mate. Very high DPS, but he's going to die really fast. I would think about a little bit more balance, and I'd also think that you need to bring in at least one medic, preferably 2. Otherwise, you're going to be dead really fast. Really fast. But I salute your bravery for trying it with no medics. The medics I would choose are Ratchet and Wheeljack. They are the best medics to go for. Minerva, excellent as well, but we're just waiting out on that SA11 for her, and she is a bit more expensive. For you, Big OP8, Meg, Soundwave, Demolisher, Armada, Wheeljack, Spinister, Hook, Scavenger, Runamok. Mate, they're all war criminals to me, and CF is himself a dead-eyed murderer, Decepticon. He laughed in the cinema when Optimus Prime died as I sat there with my head in my hands, and then probably he cried when Galvatron got thrown out of Unicron's eye by the big red Winnebago that is Rodimus Prime, the King Daddy. But CF, you jump in, mate, on Big OP8 and help him out, because you're talking a different language to me, mate. I don't know who all those characters are and what they do, but I'm gonna get better at that. Right, we're gonna run at this, dude. We've got Computron for another like 43 seconds. 20. I'm not even gonna try and rush. Grimlock. We're gonna take Rook. We are. In fact, no, we're not gonna take Rook. We're gonna take Blur, and we're gonna take SG Jetfire. Because on your front-loaded bases, although you need a pain taker like Grimlock, you also need super high DPS. People will tell you that Chromia is not in the meta and she's not as good as she used to be and blah, blah, blah. Chromia is awesome. She's a ninja. She is, as in the lore of Transformers, an absolute sniper goddess. And the way to use her is hopefully what I'm about to show you now. Who else are we going to put in? Blaster I like using because my loadout on Blaster, I've got this relatively sort of pushed aside combat, smashdown. People will, again, perhaps rightly say there are better combats out there. However, I use Blaster purely to stove in the skulls of the outpost bots, and Smashdown gives him plus 65 DPS, 65% DPS against outpost bots. I'm unsure if that transposes to his Casseticons. Question to the community and CF and to the game makers. Does that combat extend to his Combaticons? Who knows? And I've got his G1 core on him because I like the disabling effect. We are going to take 2 medics, so we're going to take Ratchet, and we are going to take... I'll take Minerva this time. We're going to take Megatronus because he is going to help us out on that. I'm just going to reactivate Computron just in case. I think I just reactivated Computron, but I possibly didn't. Oh, I did. Alright. Okay, so here's how we use gears in this situation. There are 2 options, and they're highly dependent on whether or not you got missile silos close in or at sufficient range for them not to cause you too many headaches. Missile silos are basically the silver bullet to gears. However, I am running gears with this setup. Everybody check that out. See what core I've got on him? Amalgamous core. Maxed out Amalgamous core. So when he's in alt mode, he's going to get 1% health every 0.5 seconds, which means he's just not killable instantly, as I'm going to use him now. You can drop him down here, but I'm not going to do that in this instance. I'm going to drop him to one of the far extends of one of the flanks, and he's going to start pathing north, and then I'm going to drop everyone and smash this to pieces. I'm not even too bothered about what the build bots are because it really doesn't matter. I'm going for maximum normal damage on here. I love how geeky I can get Transformers lore with all of you guys. There are not many people in my life, apart from my daughter, that I can do that. So we are rocking and rolling. We are moving and grooving.
Get out of my face! Grimlock love us war stories!
Right, as you can see, he's auto-targeted that missile silo, and I'm not too worried about his health points at the moment.
On you, Petro-rabbits!
I've put Stylor on him because that's kind of useful for all sorts of things. And as you can see, he is just brassing this base up. Another little tip is, every now and then, use your Ark's ability or your Titan's ability against the other Titan, just to edge them along slightly, so that you get all the benefits from your Titan winning at the end. It's often something I overlook, but it's very much worth it. Right, as you can see, the one danger of this strategy is that gears can just sort of lose time quite badly. So we've got Mind Wipe coming out there. I don't really have anything to stun him at the moment, but I'm dropping Chromia's ability right in the middle of that melee. So she's got, that beacon is going to sit there for 30 seconds, and they're all now going to start targeting that beacon, and not me, and just looking at it. We're going to throw Blur up here. Grimlock is just absorbing pain down here. We're going to throw Blaster's kids up there. And this is all over but the shouting. Blur's dead, but I really find Blur very satisfying to use. I've deliberately not leveled him because I just enjoy using him, you know, in like scything through stuff. Very, very satisfying. Let's keep going. Let's just rush Grimlock in here to hack these guys. So he's got the Liege Core on him. We're going to put Chromia's ability down in the middle. Yep, all at once, mate. So the way I like doing front-loaded bases is I'll soften them up with gears. I'll take out everything that's going to hurt me with gears. And then I reconstitute my war squad. So the war squad that I've just run with is that team. So gears, super high DPS, and will mince up all the armaments before I get there. Grimlock is my radiation absorber. SG Jetfire with pinpointer, just super levels of damage. Blur, very high DPS. He's got a vector core on him and a Tricerashot. Pr1me, she's carrying Peacemaker and maxed out. Blaster is my outpost bot killer. Ratchet, Minerva, medics. And basically all the rest of them are there to do. I don't care about hack. I don't care about build bots because they're all normal damage. None of it is elemental damage. All of it is Tyrannotron or hack or normal damage. And I just drop them all and let them eat. And it very rarely lets me down. Very rarely lets me down. So, big salute to you, sexy Prime. Yeah, but...
I fear the wounds are fatal.
Yeah, you need to have a think about where you put your missile silos. Put me under pressure when I'm coming into front-loaded bases by putting outpost bots right at the cusp of the ramp, which will force me to then not use Gears in the way that I'm using him at the moment. Because if Gears is having to deal with outpost bots, which he can do, his glass gas devastation is itself devastating to outpost bots, but I'm relying on him to auto-target those, and then he's not targeting MDS, missile silos, lasers, which are all firing straight into his face. So it's just going to put me under a bit more pressure. Right, here we go. Okay, so a slightly different variant with a bit of what I'm talking about. So we've got front-loaded Biner, lots of outpost bots, which, thank you very much, Big OP8. I can tell that that is going to be Deluge, Transmetal Megatron, Mindwipe, Scourge, and Demolisher. All the usual suspects. So that's really useful knowledge. You need to select the right battle boost for when you're doing this, because you're going to want to target some of that stuff for when you run out of ability points. But essentially here, there's a lot of things we could do. We could run a conventional war squad with lots of sort of explosive ordnance, airborne delivery, or we could run another Gears sort of situation. I think I'm probably going to do another Gears kind of effort here. So I'm going to do Gears. We are going to do Pr1me again. We're going to do... where are you? Smoke screen. We're going to do SG Jetfire for the range. We're not going to do Blaster this time. I'm going to do Beast Wars Ironhide for the glass gas. I am going to do Grimlock for the pain absorption. We're going to take Ratchet, who's got my Alpha Trion core, and we're going to take Wheeljack, who's got my Micronus core. So we've got a bit of gunnery, and gunnery is funnery, as we all know. And we've got a little bit of damage action there. We're going to take Pr1me for a bit of extra DPS, and to feel his calming presence amongst us when we drop him in. So from Vikram, mate, you're planning on getting more 5-star gunners and air class bots. That is a very good choice. If I could suggest to you, smokescreen is a necessary for your war team. Long range sniping is probably one of the most important elements of survival, for me at least, in this. I'm not saying my way is the only way. My way is not the highway. There are infinite computations and permutations of activity and TTPs, tactics, techniques, and procedures that you could use to do what I'm doing here. You know, go crazy, go nuts. That's why it's a game. That's why it's fun. So, what's CF saying to me? Elita wouldn't be bad, but I see how you put a team together. Are you talking to me or Big OP8? Or somebody else? Right, let's have a run. Let's see what we're doing.
That's too dangerous.
No, it's not. Right.
If this doesn't stop it, nothing will.
So we're going to trip a whole load of outposts here early on, but I'm going to show you how we can potentially solo this just with gears if this works. Probably won't, but let's see. I'm going to drop gears here, and I'm going to target the stuff down south to make him not interested in pathing south. Remembering that the use of gears can bleed you for time. So, no, he's still going south. Never mind. Sometimes, and it's that bit of walling there that's preventing him from doing it, sometimes he will path north and just start brassing everything up in that northern quadrant. And you can pretty much solo a base with gears and Megatronus Prime, which is quite good fun. The other good thing to think about gears is, if you select a target and he kills that target, he will auto-target other stuff, in this case, that MDS, which is really rather useful, isn't it? He is just going to walk straight forward like a dick, so we're just going to drop this down. We're going to charge... we've got Beast Wars Ironhide, who's got my Forge of Solus Prime here. But I'm just going to charge Grimlock forward somewhere. Who have we got down here? Deluge. He's just Hackerama, that guy. So these guys are all... they're all pretty much fine. As soon as SG Jetfire has finished being all disabled, we're just going to start throwing him at these sorts of things. We're going to chuck Grimmers down there, and we're just going to start hitting that MDS. I'm going to drop Primer down so that we can feel his warm presence. And deploy Computron. Because there's lots of hackable bots here. So we're going to give them a little bit of a stun. So Deluge and Mind Wipe and Galvatronus, all nicely hackable. We don't have any cryo cores up here, so Computron's special ability here is going to be particularly devastating, as will be Electrical Optics. We're going to drop the Arc's ability right into the middle of that, and then we're just going to give Galvatronus his 2-star ability, and that will be him. And then we are rocking and rolling, moving and grooving. We are just going to give a bit of sniper action to Deluge, who's just there, just to polish him off. We've lost all of our medics, but that's not too much of a drama. I'm just going to charge Beast Wars Ironhide in over here, and Grimlock, just to give them a bit of a health top-up. We're going to use that battle boost up here, just to give us a bit more of an ability, and we are going to use SG Jetfire here. No point me trying to kill off those Decepticons at the moment, because Roughnecks' special ability is doing its damage. It can be a little bit tight, this. But I think, broadly, we might just have it. Plus, Pr1me has just hacked Roughnecks, because she's carrying Peacemaker. And SG Jetfire is doing the Lord's work just there. But this might be a fail. I think it might be. Oh dear. I love how humbling this game can be. So dropped on the final one, lost 25 points, or however many points, lots of points. I deserve this. I love using Beast Wars Ironhide, but he does die really, really quickly. We'll try that again, shall we? Let's clear that down. Let's be a bit more sensible with squad selection. Gears. Grimlock. Let's be boring. We'll take Blue Streak. We will take In fact, we'll take Brainstorm, just for variation. Brainstorm's also carrying my SB Optimus, which is going to give them a nice sort of kick. Have been using Rodimus Prime quite nicely in the Such Heroic Nonsense show, bringing lots of bots really close in, really high DPS bots, and then just hitting Rodimus Prime's ability, which gives them a 576 DPS percentage push, and just watching them melt a base. We're going to take Rook, who's got my Quintus core, and we are going to take Brainstorm. We've got Blue Streak, we've got Smokescreen, and we are going to take 2 medics, who hopefully won't die this time. And this should be a win. But hubris is a hell of a drug, eh?
Why did you torture me?
Swoop for the air attack, but it's such low. Well, dealing 2,000 per hit. Yeah, I could do actually, couldn't I? Shall I run swoop? I'm blaming you, CF, if this doesn't work. We'll run swoop. What have I got on swoop? Big Daddy, because he's one of my outpost bots. But who cares? We'll do it live. Let's take Megatronus for his pure evil. Awesome story, Megatronus and Solus in the lore. Right, let's do it.
All right, we survived that.
Yeah, but will we survive this?
Who knows? So we're going to do the same. They say the definition of stupid is doing the same thing twice if the first thing went wrong. So yeah, he's got disgusting DPS. True that. Normally I would have put a gun combat on him for this, but he's got Big Daddy on him, so that's not too shabby. We know Mind Wipe is in that outpost. So I'm just going to let Gears trip him, and then I'm going to drop the squad a little bit further out. The good thing about Gears is you can initiate him when he's not actually in range of anything, and the likelihood is he will start targeting stuff like that MDS, which is really rather useful. So now he's doing the thing I wanted to show you the first time. So he's pathed north. So now I can just munch this base up from the north with very little worry, apart from Sharkticons that he targets, which is really annoying. With very little worry that anything really bad is going to happen to him. Highly unlikely that anybody had put flare mines sort of up here. And this is what I mean about how you could solo this with him and Megatronus, potentially. But we're in a much better place than I was on that first run. So we're just going to use another one of his abilities, and then we're going to drop everybody down and see what they do. So that shield gen is gone. I'm going to drop Megatronus down there. I'm going to send out nothing targetable really at the moment, apart from that MDS. But I might just fling swoop into the air now, just for fun, just for you, CF. It's like the CF tribute. Swoop gliding in, proudly ready to kind of destroy Devastator. But no. Everyone's DPS going a little bit south there, so I'm just going to use Computron to soften that up a bit so I don't die again. Let's just use his stun ability here, bit of electro-optics, and let's get Mind Wipe and Deluge working for us, just for a few seconds. I'm going to just hit that up a little bit. And then we're just going to try and put Mind Wipe on his merry little way a bit. We've tripped Galvatronus, that's fine. Galvatronus is going to waste his ability on Computron. which is kind of what I wanted. And then we are back to the good stuff. Alright, swoop is now a 9 in cost, so I'm not going to do that. I am going to race Grimlock up here to pop these outposts. Because we know that's Demolisher and Transmetal Megatron. In fact, not Demolisher. Who's that? Who's that naughty little guy? Help me out, CF. Who's that? I'm just going to put swoop in the air now. We've got 44 seconds left. And this is where I like using Wheeljack. Because Wheeljack will make everybody that little bit faster and that little bit stronger for the final few seconds. But I'm pretty sure, especially using Blue Streak just there on Transmetal Megatron, we're going to take this base with 26 seconds to go. We are looking reasonable. Down. So, despite cocking it up royally at the start of that one,
Must die sometime.
and I did straight away on that first run. So big salute to the commander of Ricos Roughnecks, Super Freak. Big salute to you, sir. You know, hubris, hell of a drug. But did it. 275, dropped 25, being a silly boy on there. Let's check out the leaderboard. Cyrus, my mate from Pr1me Delta, doing really well. I'm sure the rest of the team will eclipse my score with ease on this. And we've got some really good people sort of coming up. Really enjoying working with all of the new people in Pr1me Nemesis. And, you know, Prime recruiting. If you head to my Discord, there's a whole, or I'm imminently about to build a whole sort of Prime recruiting section in there, so you can access all of that. You can also just find it on the normal Discord. In Alliance adverts, Warriors put stuff up there, Guts has put stuff up there. Come along, try out. We've got multiple different tiers for multiple different abilities and experiences. You know, 6 months ago, I wasn't even in an Alliance, and my war team's just crazy, losing all the time, getting very demoralised with the game. Joined Pr1me Delta, and just, you know, took advice from people like CF and Croto and Val and others in the content creation Twilight sort of sphere, and just slowly built up. So yeah, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, share, do all those things that people do on YouTube. Growing steadily, 3 weeks in, 44 subscribers. Thank you to all the people who are so loyal and turn up every time I come in here and gob off. It's very nice of you, and lovely to see you, CF, Callum, everybody else who came along on this. If you want specific advice, come and join the Ultra PITTUS Discord, join the CF Tactics Discord, and, you know, just kind of come in, chat, have a look at the resources. Yeah, thanks, Block Boy, apart from cocking it right up at the start. Next week on Such Heroic Nonsense, hopefully me and Twilight will be able to make the collaboration work, because I couldn't this time, because I'm a bit of a biff on OPS. Me and CF hopefully will do the Deadcon 86 game as well. Excited to see CF's gang sort of launching forward. 4 weeks on the bounce now, mate. I've had the Autobots resurrected and alive and beating Prime Zone bases, and they're all my bum-ass rubbish, not very leveled bots, apart from a couple of the medics who are generals. Such Heroic Nonsense next Wednesday, Daily War Lab, and loads of little shorts coming out onto my YouTube as well, that are just like 2 minutes to make yourself a better player. And you can either try and copy my tactics, innovate using my tactics, or just learn a little bit from the bot squads that I'm running. But if you want to see specific shorts and things like that, I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, better things to do tonight than die. But this has been Such Heroic Nonsense production. I've been Ultra PITTUS. This has been War Lab. against Ricos Roughnecks. Do you want to know more? You know, one rule, you know, we all fight, no one quits. But now is the time for you all to go away and leave me alone. Thanks everyone. Goodbye.
I fear the wounds are fatal.